So we are reading. I guess I'm reading. and The reason I'm reading this is because the Catholic Church has some of the most gorgeous um, written statements about the church, about Christ. I would say they're equal to the Bible. The Bible wasn't written to be necessarily gorgeous, the Bible was written to give the story of the people of God. But the catechism is very much the story of the people of God and their relationship to Christ. And so the catechism is just gorgeous. It is, it helps you to be able to assimilate how much Christ loves you and his church, how much he loves his church. And so uh, we're reading it not just because um, I've picked out different parts of the catechism because it's over 1,000 or like 900, 1,000 pages long. So we're not going to read all of it. But I've picked out the ones I thought the Seventh day Adventists really need to hear. These are beautiful explanations of what Catholics actually teach. And rather than go to priests' letters, private letters, or go to different quotes that may or may be out of context. I've read all of the Adventist quotes, that they do to prove that the Catholic Church changed the Sabbath. And of all of those quotes, some of them are not even legitimate. Some of them are just made up. Some of them are highly out of context, but almost all of them. Sorry, I've got a fly or a gnat somewhere just right around, it's hovering around the microphone. So anyway, a lot of those quotes are not just out of context, but they're 19th century. A lot of them are either from the 1800s or the early 1900s, which really there was so much going on in America at that time. And interestingly enough, the quotes are usually from American bishops. But at that time, America was just starting to understand Catholicism, and there was a lot of prejudice. And the Know Nothing uh, party was coming into America, which didn't want to change. They wanted to stay a Protestant country and did not want Jews or Catholics coming in. So there was a lot of misunderstanding. So the Catholic Church was trying to make a very important point when it talked about the Sabbath. It was trying to make the point that if you believe in sola scriptura, as Protestants have been teaching, sola scriptura, where do you get this idea that you should be worshiping on Sunday? Why aren't you worshiping? And so that's what Protestants, especially Adventists did. They take and cut out these little pieces, and of what certain priests and bishops and even popes could say. And then even if it's an authoritative source, they don't get the full story. And you have to go and find the full story to be able to understand it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm pulling out pieces of the catechism that will help Adventists understand how the Catholic Church thinks of herself and how you can put these together. But now I suggest, if you would like a fuller uh, um, explanation of the Sabbath, go to our Arthur and I did a series several years back on called The Story of the Sabbath, and it's on this YouTube site, and it's for free. Please go and listen to that. That really, really does explain how this whole thing came about of Sabbath being the seventh day, to a lot of Protestants believing that, and especially the Calvinists who came to America, really promoted this idea of Sunday being the Sabbath, which There are biblical reasons that you can call Sunday a Sabbath, and we go through it. Believe it or not, have the courage to watch that series, and you will be stunned at how much evidence there is in the Bible that Sunday could be a Sabbath day. Now, having said that, Catholics do not teach that Sunday is a Sabbath. It is a holy day to them, but they do not recognize one holy day out of seven in the same sense that the Adventists do. They believe every single day we should, and Catholics do worship God. They have mass, public mass, every single day. They do not believe in a day of worship. That's purely a Protestant thing, that you take one day out of the week and you go to church. Now, the Catholic Church does believe that you must as a Christian at least attend church every Sunday. That is because it's the day that Christ was resurrected on, but it's not